Why, thank you. Welcome to Tattletales. Nice to have you with us today. We have 3 celebrity couples, as always, and let me see. The blue section will be rooting for Elaine and Bobby, and the yellow section will be rooting for Amanda and Frank, and the red section will be rooting for Marcy and William, and we'll come back and meet those people. Shall we do that? First, Miss Elaine Joyce and her husband, Bobby Van, for the blue section. Next to Elaine and Bobby is Amanda Blake and her husband, Frank Gilbert.
Yeah, that's right.
Next to Amanda and Frank is Marcy Lafferty and her husband, William Sadler. Okay, here we go. It is a new ball game today. I believe this is an all tattletale quickie day, and that means quickies all day is what it means. I'm reaching for it now. This is a new scoring system for this now. We have a pot of $150 for each quickie. And fellas, here's the first one. Men, your wife buys a dress. She asks you how she looks in it, and you hate it. Now, do you tell her you hate it, or do you fib and say you like it? Your wife buys a new dress, and she asks you how she looks in it, and you hate it. Do you tell her you hate it, or do you fib and say you like it? Think about that, gentlemen. We'll come back in just a moment. All right, now, what would Bobby do in that case if you paraded in front of him and said, what do you think?
What do you think he'd say? I don't want to make the decision.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I don't know. It's really hard.
I knew you'd get out of it.
No, I don't know what I'd say. I tell you what, fear is a great motivation, though.
How about the check?
Yeah, that's a big one, too.
Bobby would always tell me. First of all, he goes by the feel of a dress. Isn't that funny?
Yeah. See, that's probably why I didn't want to answer that.
Like with my panties. He reaches in the drawers and feels my panties. He does.
I didn't
and if
say
his mother's
anything.
watching, he got it from his father.
Nevertheless.
Okay. Bobby would tell me he hates it if he hated it.
He would. Absolutely.
Was that
would
the question?
That was, I think so, yes.
Yeah.
Way back when I asked it, it seemed to be. Yes.
Yes.
He'd say he'd hate it. Okay,
Yeah.
let's bring on Bobby. Okay, Bobby.
Hey.
What would you do? She's in the dress?
Well, my wife has a habit of, when she goes shopping, I mean, I have to go. They know me in department stores as well as they know her. I mean, I have to sit and watch she tries everything on. She respects my opinion. If I don't like it, I tell her I don't like it.
That's what she said. You told her. And you now have a share of that $150 for the first
And I also save a lot of money by doing it.
Well, I'm glad to hear it.
No idea. I hate it. I hate it.
Thank you, Bobby. Okay, Amanda, what about Frank? What would he say?
Frank doesn't know anything.
We know that.
Yeah, we've already found that out. But, and he's very opinionated, and I think that he would say, well, I know for a fact, if he doesn't like something, he says, it's rotten.
Right. Then I guess the answer is he'd say he'd hate it, right?
Yeah, he'd say he hated
Right.
it.
Okay, let's bring on
I
Frank.
think.
Frank?
Yes, sir.
What would you say about a dress that you really didn't care for? Would you say that you hate it, or would you lie and say you liked it?
Now, this is a dress that she's brought home on approval, right?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Well, Bert, you know, I'm sure that you have problems.
Oh, God.
If I ever said I liked it, I'd be stuck with it the rest of my life. I'd say no.
You'd say you hate it. That's what she said. You'd say it in your mind.
But it takes him forever. What did he say?
Well, I came up with the right answer.
He sure did.
Yes, you did.
It may take a while, but he gets there. You're right, Frank.
God, if he went any slower, he'd be going backwards.
No. Now, Frank, don't you pay any attention to her. You're
I'm not.
terrific. Thank you, Frank. Okay,
go
Marcy, what's
backwards.
Bill going to say?
I don't know.
That
Does it
question
have
really
to be
chokes you up,
hate?
doesn't it?
Does
What?
it have to be, I mean, is hate literal? Because he'd never say to me, I hate that.
Well, the choice is you hate it or fib and say you like it. Say you don't care for it. How about that?
Yeah, then I think he'd tell me the truth.
No, but we have to go by hate because that's...
No,
You don't think he would?
no, I don't think so.
He wouldn't say he hates it. He'd
I think he would.
He'd fib and like it.
I think he'd fib.
You really do? Well, then that's what we have to go with. Let's do that. If that's what you think
That's
he'll
what
say,
makes ball game.
that's what it's about. Let's bring him on.
Really
Okay,
serious.
Bill, what would you say? She's got the dress on and she asked your opinion and...
I would very delicately, gently, but with some firmness, say, I hate it.
then
Yeah.
with some gentle, with firmness, but with gentility, I must tell you that you're wrong, Billy. And that's not what she said. We have two people, right? So they split the $150, $75 apiece. And we shall break away for a brief commercial for you, and then we're coming right back. So come back with us. All quickies today. Okay, another Tattletale Quickie coming at you. This is all Tattletale Quickie Day, $150 in the pot. Here we go, fellas. The question is directed to you. Do you think most women need to be cared for and looked after by men to be really happy? Oh, boy. Men, do you think most women need to be cared for and looked after by men to be really happy? Think about that one and think very carefully, and we'll come back in just a minute. That's a good one, isn't it?
Yep.
Who
Elaine?
wants to go first?
Not me.
Okay.
What's Bobby going to say?
Well, Bobby will naturally, every man here is going to say, absolutely. I'll bet you anything. Every man here will say absolutely. They have to be taken care of by women, and see that? And I really think...
That's not every man here, I don't think. I don't know. I really don't know, because it's a new age, new time. That affects a lot of that.
All right, but they'll probably find out when it's too late that they should have done that one.
All right, what's Bobby going to say?
Bobby's going to say that, yes, a woman to be truly happy needs a man to take care of her and to look after her.
Okay, let's bring him on and see if he does say that.
Hi.
Hello, Bobby.
Hello there.
Okay, Bobby, do you think women need to be cared for and looked after by a man to be really happy?
Well, I think that in my wife's case, I think yes. I think she likes, yeah. Yeah, I would say so.
You would say so, and
Yes,
you're right for
absolutely,
saying
yeah.
so. That gives you a share of our
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Attaboy.
Yeah, the girl.
Thank you, Bobby. All right, Amanda, what's Frank going to say? I know you have no idea. We never know what Frank's going to say. But what do you think Frank
Okay,
will
well,
say?
I'm going to do this very quickly. Yes, Frank does think that a woman needs to be truly happy, has to have one of them kind in order to take care of them.
Right.
That's exactly right.
I got it. And
got
now
it?
let's see if Frank will get it.
Oh,
Let's
no
bring him
way.
on. Frank,
Yes, sir.
here we go again.
Okay, let her rip.
Do you think that women need to be cared for and looked after by a man to be really happy?
Well, you know, there are a lot of animals, for example, that might take the place, and then there are animals that might try to, yeah, they have to be.
Oh, Frank. Frank, you're a darling man, I can tell you that, and you're absolutely right. You have a
Good.
share of that 150. Thank you. Okay, Marcy, what's Bill going to say now?
Yes, he'll say yes.
He'll say yes.
Yeah.
He believes firmly that,
Well, yeah, everyone needs someone to love him, really, is what
Yes.
that's saying.
yes. Oh, what is that? Some woman just went, oh. I think she thinks that way, too. Okay, you'll say that Bill will say yes. All right, let's bring him on. Okay, Bill, what is your answer, sir?
I would say that we both need to be looked after, but certainly women do too, yeah.
That's what she said. We'll split the $150. Everybody was right, and Elaine was also right. She said you'd all say that. It is now the score. Marcy and Bill have a $50. Elaine and Bobby, Amanda and Frank are tied for the lead with $125 apiece. Halftime in the round, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies in the rear. The fellas come out here, and we're going to break away briefly for a message at halftime. Come right back.
Here at Physician.
Okay, we have changed places. As you can see, I have the gentlemen out here with me now. The ladies
Thank
are
you for
back in the
noticing.
back, coming through on the television screens. Everybody's winning money. This is an all Tattletale Quickie Day, and whatever rooting section is backing our winningest couple today, we'll add a $1,000 bonus to their winnings. Okay,
I got some help from
everybody ready to go? Big Frank, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Frank is ready. Everybody's ready. Ladies, this question is directed to you. As you know, $150 in the pot for this quickie. We know that all couples argue, at least occasionally. In your case, what one subject do you argue about the most? Okay?
Boy.
In your case,
Yeah.
ladies, What one subject do you argue about the most? Think about that. We'll return to you shortly.
Oh.
Aha. There's got to be one bone of contention that's around.
Okay, am I up?
You're up,
Oh,
Bobby.
all right.
What's
Well, the only
Elaine
thing
gonna
I can
say?
think of is that we always argue about food. She always tries to keep me on a diet. I love bread and butter and cake and milk, and she don't like me to eat that stuff. She knows I love it. So I would say that we argue about food the most. My diet we argue about.
So, but you say
Yeah.
food is the subject.
Well, yeah, my diet of food. You know, it's my
Well,
food.
which
Yeah.
food? You want to go with food or want to go with diet?
Food.
Same
food.
thing?
It's the
You're-
same thing, I
same
think.
thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Food is concerned to me, which means a
All right,
diet.
well, the subject is the same. What we have to do is match subjects.
Yeah,
now.
right.
Okay, let's bring on Elaine. All right, Elaine, what is the subject that you fight most about? Argue most about is actually what it says.
I can't even think of anything that I'd want to say on the air. Well, I would just take a guess and say in-laws.
Oh, really? When you fight about the in-laws, what is usually said in those arguments?
Must we get into this?
No,
Kurt?
I just thought
don't
it might
get
be
into
kind of
this.
interesting. That's not what Bobby said. Tell her what you said,
I
Bobby.
said food, diets.
Oh.
Oh, it's too late now, sweetheart.
Sorry,
We
Elaine.
don't
over.
argue about food.
I'm getting dirty looks from 100 people.
You don't.
Do you realize what you did to me?
You say you don't argue about food. You're about to do it now, isn't
Yes, well, my diet: bread, butter, milk, cake.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
See,
I'm glad I'm not out front.
Then comes
Sorry,
we argue
Elaine.
about sex.
Too
Then
late.
other
No
things.
score.
No.
Okay, Big Frank. What's Amanda going to say you two argue most about?
Well, really, I would say that we argue the most from the time we get up till we go to bed. But family,
Family?
right?
Your family or her family?
My
or
family,
your family.
her family, our families,
The families.
families,
You fight about both of your families.
everything.
Okay.
All the
let's-
families.
Let's bring on Amanda then. Okay, Amanda, what is the subject that you argue most about?
Oh, this is really rough. I just can't. We just argue about everything.
That should be good enough.
Well,
You have to pick one subject.
I know, and there's just a myriad of them. From dawn to dusk. Okay. Frank's cheap. I'll say we argue about money.
No,
Nothing.
Monday. What's that?
Yeah, Frank, tell her what you argue about most, Frank, in case
I'd
she's
love to
forgotten.
know.
Cutie pie.
Yeah?
Did you ever hear of family?
Whose, yours or mine?
It's her fault, folks. I'm sorry. I gave a logical answer.
I think there was an awful lot in that reading, Amanda, and that's what he said. That was the one subject. I'm sorry, it didn't match.
Sorry.
Thank you. Okay, Bill, nobody's gotten this one yet. By the way,
It's the first time in my life an audience has ever cheered me to find something to argue about.
Bill, I have to tell you, by the way, if you get this, you're going to get the 150 and go into the lead at this point. We don't want to, get you uptight about that.
We don't argue very much. That's the thing. I mean, I really have to rack my brains just to think of an answer.
Right.
And the only thing I can come up with is whether the dogs can get up on a bed or whether it's mostly about the dogs, I would say.
You say you
Dog, give
argue.
me a
You don't like that argument, is that right?
I'll try money.